Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5. We off the record.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. We off the record.
What's up?
What up? This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scott. I ain't say Scotty B. Now I need to switch it up. I need to figure out. I need to switch up the intro and outro.
Oh, you don't need to switch anything up. Why do you need to switch?
I don't know. It's we've been going almost 10 years strong, and we say it the same exact way. I was looking at a couple of our older episodes, and I was like, I might need to change that up. It might be time to I mean, we went through a lot of changes, right? You know,
Right.
we went from the AM radio to the
Before that, it was it was internet radio. I forgot the Reppin' VA.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reppin' VA.
Yeah, shout out because it gave us our start.
Right.
So yeah, it was Reppin' VA, the
AM radio.
Which the AM radio was cool.
It was different. It was. Let me tell y'all. So when we did that joint, it was on, I forget, but we was out of Richmond, and the studio. You ain't never go to this. No, you went. I think you went once. I can't remember.
Nah, I don't
But,
recall.
Yeah, so the studio was just creepy. It was. They had this huge, like the board was as big as this table over here, and I'm like, man. So it was these older gentlemen, but it was a start. It was cool, and then we went to DC. We was in the studio there, and that joint was cool. That was different. Scott fought me, y'all, about doing video. I mean,
I did. I didn't see the vision. I was looking at. I don't know what I was looking at.
He's like, that joint is an extra $100.
Yeah.
It was an extra $100 a person. I was like, so what?
Yeah. So,
but yeah.
But I will say this: it came full circle. If you would have told me, so that was at that point, that was 6 years ago.
That was 6 years ago. Yeah.
That we would have a setup in my basement and be doing the show basically with a camera and lights.
Could you turn that light on? I need them to see my.
I got you.
Appreciate
I
it,
got you.
man. God damn. But yeah, but nah, it's true. Like, I mean, COVID kind of forced us to, right? So we were virtual, and it was an adjustment because it was. It's one thing I'll say is nothing like being in the same room trying to even doing an interview, like doing an interview with somebody on the other side of the or just on the computer, not in the same room, is not the same.
Right.
It's totally different. So, but nonetheless, we're here, and I personally don't think you need to change what you say or.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a try. So, man, we got a lot to cover. There's a ton to cover. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the fight of the year. The fight of this might. So I put the fight of the year. It's clearly the fight of the year, right? I don't think there's another fight that was a fight bigger.
I think you might be underselling it. I would say it's the biggest fight probably in about 5 years.
That's where I was going. I mean,
it is a. So I want to tell you, and I mean, cut you off. I don't know who I'm going for in this fight, and every day it gets more confusing, and I get a lot more undecided on who I'm going with.
Mhm.
And for us, we're having a fight party. I'm inviting you to hang out with us at Corey's house today. Everything is on Corey.
Absolutely.
If you need the address, I will send you the address. I'm sure he won't mind me inviting you to his house. But with that being said, we're going to DC to watch the fight, and we got to place our bets before we go to DC because I'm
going Crawford.
You're going
with Bud. I've been back and forth, and I feel like I think they both need this fight. This is one of those where neither one of them nobody ever wants to lose, but it's one of those you can't lose this fight. And if you do lose, it has to go all 12.
Yeah, it's got to be convincing. It's got to be the drama. It's got to be the build up. So what is making you lean toward Crawford?
I think the fact that he can adjust his style, and I think
that's the problem.
Yeah, and I know Spence had the accident. That was what, like 4 years ago.
I don't know. I don't know when it was. I thought it was maybe like 3. Yeah.
Well, no, because he came back during COVID. He was one of the. He came back during COVID. I don't know. I think that's probably about it because Spence is probably stronger.
Oh, Spence is stronger,
and so I don't know. It's tough because when Crawford's taller, has a longer reach, Spence
more athletic.
Yeah,
and so switches stances. But Spence is the technician.
He is.
He's sound. He's as sound as you could really be. And they say the boy hits like you can't see how strong he is on tape.
Right.
You don't know until you hop into the ring with him. I think that Crawford has the killer instinct.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been all morning and in prep for the show. I went back and I've watched the Porter fight.
Mm-hmm.
Crawford was able to get it done a little bit better.
Right.
I forget the British guy that
poor Porter. He got beat up by him. Yeah, go ahead.
It was a British guy that got beat up by both.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Spence basically sent him into retirement. I mean, he screwed his eye up. But I'll say this too. I don't want to use that as the metric to evaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them saying, well, Crawford was able to, it seemed like he had an easier time with both fighters because it's not going to matter if they're both in the ring with each other.
Right. So, I mean, with all that being said, who you picking, dog?
I got Spence.
You don't sound too convincing saying that.
Because this is one of the fights that I actually think I like Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like his personality. Like watching the 24/7 access and just I didn't realize he was from Omaha, Nebraska. I had no idea. And for full transparency, I'm no expert on boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I won't put that out there. I enjoy it. I get hyped around the buzz that everybody makes when we have one of these big title fights, but I'm not one of those fans that watches every Friday night, or I can't tell you who's an upcoming person. I look up, this person's got 22 wins and 0 losses. Like, okay, cool.
So you picking Spence, I got Crawford. Let me ask you this. Do you think this fight is bigger than Canelo Triple G? Because that was
it. That was a big fight too. Yes.
Why?
So, and again, I want to paraphrase this. Was Triple G and Canelo both undefeated? when they matched up?
No, because Canelo lost to Mayweather.
Okay, so
And Triple G hadn't. He lost. He had lost before that also.
yeah, both these guys are undefeated. So
yeah.
So for that reason, and I really respect both these guys because they figured out how to get it done
In their prime.
In their prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect the fact that they're just saying like, hey, we're gonna meet at this weight class. We're gonna fight. I think it's bigger, and I think that boxing needs this fight. I think, and this is just me speaking from as an average fan. Since Mayweather has not fought anymore, it feels like boxing is missing the superstar. You know, like Mayweather, whether you like them or not, everybody was always tuned in to a Mayweather fight
every time,
every single time. Whether or not you wanted him to lose, you wanted him to win, you knew who the guy was in boxing. I think this stage is going to propel one of these guys to be not the next Mayweather, but that status of top dog in boxing.
You're gonna be the guy in boxing.
You're gonna
win this fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you brought up Mayweather. I'm glad you brought up Mayweather because I had a post. I want to say it was a week ago, and we didn't record last week because we be busy. And I know that's not proper grammar, proper English, but we be busy. So it happens. You got Floyd Money Mayweather. You got Iron Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Right? Now, of course, they're not going to fight each other. But in their prime, in wherever the top of their top is, who was more popular?
Oh, Mike Tyson for sure was more popular
than Money Mayweather? Okay, so you say that. Now, what about post-fighting? Who's more popular? Would it still be Mike Tyson? Or do you think Mayweather is more popular than Mike Tyson?
That's a good question. That is really good. I would say that Mike Tyson still is more popular. I mean, Mike Tyson has not boxed in a long time.
Yeah.
And we're talking his prime was, we'll say 30 years ago, right? We'll say around the time that we was preteens or a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson was the most feared man on earth. I mean, I have a story. I won't tell it too bad, but I had an encounter with Mike Tyson. It wasn't really much of an encounter. It was more of me recognizing who he was and getting the hell out of his way.
Hey, tell the story, man.
Yeah.
And after he tell the story, y'all, let us know if Scott was a punk or not.
Yo, I absolutely, before I tell the story, absolutely was a punk. I found myself with Mike Tyson walking behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I abruptly stopped. And Mike said, I hate when blah, blah, blah does this.
Uh-huh.
I turned around and I turned around. I was ready to confront whoever the hell it was. I turned around and saw it was Mike Tyson. And I swiftly moved the F out of his damn way and let him keep going.
Hey, man, I don't blame you.
Yeah. It was not, I saw that face tattoo and I got the hell out of his way, and him and his entourage kept it moving. And that was, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that 99% of the population would have did the same thing. And to be honest, he was smaller than I expected.
Mm-hmm. As far as like height.
Oh yeah, he was definitely smaller. He probably was on one of them vegan diets or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not taking any damn chances. I don't give a hell if he would have been 5'5". Just that fear of like, because somebody always says, well, you should have let them punch you so you could sue them. Like, hell
What?
no. Yeah, somebody told me that once. It was like, yo, you should have maybe picked the fight with him. I was like, are you crazy?
Nah, you did the right thing. You did the absolute right thing of not getting into an altercation with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you wasn't gonna have me on World Star.
Hey, you know what's yo, Scott, I'll say this, man. He done had some interactions with some professional athletes that are almost second to none, yo. This man talked Robert Horry out of
Oh,
Robert Horry was about to end it all. Scott became his counsel. Was that a fight weekend? I think it was a fight weekend.
This thing with Mike Tyson was a fight weekend.
Oh my gosh, man! Oh, that is hilarious, yo. So, but I mean, so me personally, I think that in their prime, because I never answered the question, even though I posed it. In their prime, you're gonna be hard to find a more popular athlete than Mike Tyson. You might have Michael Jordan. You might have, especially at that time, or just ever, right? I think that you may have some soccer people, right? Some soccer guys like Messi or Pele, you know. And I'm just talking about from when I was like Muhammad Ali was before my time. So I know Muhammad Ali was probably super popular post fight. Post fight. He was way more popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say that that Mike Tyson is probably top. I think 5 is too many. I say of most popular athletes, Mike Tyson's probably top 3. I think it's a stretch to say 5. I think you're gonna be hard pressed to find at their prime a more popular athlete. I think.
So the thing with Mike is he's done a good job of like being in movies, on shows, and he's got a likable personality. You know what I mean?
Where now, I mean, in the 80s and early 90s, he just had fear. You were scared of him, and
for full transparency, I mean, I don't believe that Mike Tyson was going to beat me up, but it was a reaction out of fear, oh shit, it was like Mike.
I mean, yeah. So me personally, I think that you got Mike Tyson. I mean, well, Jordan, Tyson, and popularity could be, you know, people take the time out of their way to dislike them, right? So you have you know, I would put LeBron James up there. And
speaking of which, scary moment for the James family, man.
You just made a hard left turn, but yeah.
No, I mean, but we do gotta wish Bronny
absolutely
speedy recovery, and definitely James family, man.
Absolutely,
prayers and stuff. But that was tough, man. That was tough to see that. So I do want to talk about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're in that situation, even if the doctors clear him to ever play basketball again,
he's gonna play basketball again.
He's gonna play basketball again. Do you think that that's the right decision?
If you're able to play, absolutely. Why not? He asking the wrong person. Like if you can play and you're cleared to play, and there's not gonna be a recurrent thing where, you know, you're not gonna lose your life, or this is not gonna happen again. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's the scenario that I'm giving is like all the best, because we know that they're gonna have the best doctors and they'll have everything, but doctor just says, okay, this was an isolated incident, you're able to play again.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I bring this up is I kind of look at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's different situations for different people, right? In my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong for saying this, Bronny will be good no matter what. You know what I mean? He's going
Oh
to be
yeah,
straight.
Absolutely.
He's going to be straight. He doesn't necessarily need to play basketball if he doesn't want to. So I think the decision is a little bit different for somebody that this is going to be their livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to change the course of their life. This is
Right.
this they feel like they have to do this because this is what they're meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
Than somebody that has other opportunities and can pursue different avenues,
Right.
if he wants to. So I think it's going to be a tough decision for him.
I disagree. I think he'll be playing basketball. He'll be playing basketball in the next few weeks. Maybe a month.
And I don't think it's a wrong answer. You know what I mean? Like I'm just bringing the discussion to the forefront.
For some, like you said, he'll be good. But somebody that all they have is basketball, that's the only way they could provide for their family. Would that change? Would that change their decision? It will make it a little tougher. I mean, I guess it would be a little easier, in that situation. I think it's a tougher decision for Bronny than it would be for somebody that's out the hood, single parent, and this is all they have. I mean, they're gonna try their best. Now the difference there is you may not necessarily have the best doctor. They're gonna have good doctors. If you go to a school like USC or UCLA or University of Miami or wherever, any of these Power 5 schools, they're gonna have the best doctors for the most part, right? So I think that he's good with that. And look at DeMar Hamlin. I mean, he's back. He's in camp, and so it's interesting because I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think he was gonna play again. I felt like he possibly would, but I don't know.
So I always get confused because we're always we've got like a ton of different like chats that we're in, but I believe you're the one that shared with me the day before he collapsed on the field, and I'm not talking about DeMar Hamlin. The team released his workout that he was going through in the Buffalo facility, and you look at that workout, and I mean that guy was phenomenal. Shape, like, and you look at somebody like Bronny James, to where it's kind of like
all you doing is working out.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that because we've seen the legendary videos and Instagram posts of LeBron. He's got Bronny and he's got Bryce. Like they're all doing whatever workout that he's doing. So
that's crazy.
They're in tip-top shape.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, and so. At the end of the day, if that could happen to these young guys that are in probably the best shape, it can happen to anybody. And so, with that being said, make sure y'all go get checked out because
never know.
You never know. So, you want to? Oh, before we get to football, I think football should be because I know we got win of the week soon. But did you see what what the league NBA the so they sent out a memo to I think it was to all the teams, right?
It was to all 30 teams.
Yeah, it was to all 30 teams, but it was about Dame and his agent ultimately saying there'll be discipline if there's any sort of tampering ultimately, but any player will will be disciplined if they don't want to, if they get traded to a team and don't want to perform their services to the team. And I was like, this is direct at saying I don't want to play here, I don't want to play there, I just want to play in Miami. So, two questions I have for you. Do you agree with the NBA in sending out this memo? And what happens now with Dame? Because we haven't heard anything in the last couple of weeks.
All right, so just to add a little bit more context, and pretty confirmed on both sides, they're saying that Dame's agent has been going behind the scenes, calling the teams that are interested and letting them know, like, he don't want to play for you. You don't have to waste your time or whatnot. I can't speak on him. He's never directly said this,
right?
But I just know because I'm his agent that he don't want to play with you. You know what I mean? And that's been confirmed from both sides. So we got to hold the players accountable to an extent, right? And what I mean by that is Dame signed that contract. And there's nothing saying that they have to operate in good faith by trading him where he wants to go.
Because he doesn't have a no trade clause.
Yeah, he doesn't have a no trade clause. And then he also has a lot of years left on his contract that he should have probably thought about before he signed that contract. And once you sign that contract, you are at the mercy of the team. And the team is showing their true colors, which I can't blame them, is like, look, we're going to get the best possible deal. We understand that you want to go here, but if they don't give us a deal, then we can't make that happen. I think he would have had more leverage if he would have been coming up on his contract ending. And it's one of those scenarios to where, okay, look, I'm not re-signing with y'all. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get something back for me. And then I'm leaving to Miami. But he doesn't have that type of leverage. So it's tough for him to kind of bounce back. I think a trade will eventually get done, but it will be on their terms. And it's more than likely probably won't be to Miami. It just may be whoever's interested.
Well, if I think that there was too much talking going on throughout this whole process. I think that and we don't necessarily know if Dame said, I won't play in Boston, I won't play in Philly, I won't play in LA, wherever. I feel like it's just been too much talking. A lot of speculating, but it was just too much. Like, and I guess these places were doing their due diligence of reporting what they assume or reporting what, whatever. So I felt like if the agent was doing that, he was setting Dame up terribly. And here's the thing, Dame's a hooper. If he gets traded to New Orleans or if he gets traded to Chicago, he's gonna play ball. He ain't gonna just sit out. That's not gonna happen. He's gonna play. So I don't think that the team necessarily has to worry about that. Now with him, will he resign? Will he be disgruntled? Probably, but he probably won't resign.
So how many years does he have left? I thought he had 3. It's 3 years left on his deal.
On his, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's quite a bit years left, and you are right. Like, he's not going to not ball out no matter where he goes. But they just called his bluff.
Right. So he exercised. So he has 2 years. He has this season and next season left on his deal, and it's a whole lot of money. Yeah, pretty much $46 million this year and $49 million next year.
I think what they're going to try to do I do still think the deal gets done, and as we spoke about previously, it's going to be tough sledding for them to be.
I'm sorry. So he already exercised for next year, and then in 25-26, he still has that year, and then he has a player option in 26-27. So in 26-27, I'm sorry, and in 27 he becomes an unrestricted free agent. So we know for sure that he has this season coming up and next season coming up. What happens after that? Because it gets to 58 million and 64 million.
Yeah, so what they're probably going to do is they're probably going to wait them out this season, kind of see how it goes. Hope that if they start winning and they bring in the help or something like that, and the season is going well, that they can at least sell him on this season, and then maybe look to trade him next season with that 1 year deal. If the season starts going to shit, maybe they do kind of just accept the fact that they're in a full rebuild and go that route.
Damian Lillard is not playing for Portland this season.
So you think he's going to actually hold out?
No, he's going to get traded. I don't see it happening. I will say this. I will be utterly surprised if Damian Lillard plays another second for the Portland Trailblazers. Not that there's bad blood. I just think that it's ran its course and it's time to move on.
Yeah,
it's
time
to move on. So, all right, let's get to the winner of the week. All right. If I can find it. Here we go.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
All right, so my winner of the week this week is Sean Payton. And I want to give an interesting spin on this, right? So, if you haven't been listening, Sean Payton has been very critical about the previous coaching staff of Nathaniel Hackett and the Denver Broncos. And he's been pretty boisterous about it. The reason why he's my winner of the week is I don't disagree with anything that he said, but I don't agree with him making all that public. Like, I think it's okay to say those things like behind closed doors and maybe say those things to the team, but I don't think it's okay to publicly go after another coach. It just I didn't think it was. He exercised poor taste. What are your thoughts?
That's all you got?
Yep, that's all I got.
I don't have a problem with what he said.
Okay.
Because it was the truth. I don't even have a problem with him. I'm saying it publicly. I don't. I feel like, it is what it is. I understand. I gotta plug him. Can you help me plug that in?
Yeah, I got you.
So I understand that there's a code. I get that there's a code with coaches and things of that nature. But Nathaniel Hackett sucked last year. Now he wasn't the only one. So he was bad. What I do have a problem with is him walking it back like he didn't say what he said, and again, it was the truth. Now, he probably felt, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that in public. But it was done, and to act like he didn't mean it,
So he meant every word that he
absolutely
said. But I think that for the Broncos, we've got a lot of people to hold accountable, right?
And I think he held them accountable.
Yeah, you got to hold the organization just as accountable as you hold Russell Wilson and Nathaniel Hackett. It was clear it was bad hire. It was clear that it was that he wasn't ready for the next level. It was clear that a lot of focus was given to, them, the preseason hype. And I think we all, to an extent, I mean, I'm not going to lie, when I found out that Denver got Russell Wilson, I was like, oh, yeah, they're about to ball out, because of the talent that was on that roster. And I had lofty expectations for that team. But it starts with the organization, and we've talked about this a lot, and you see it a little bit more, and I think your stance on it, you see a lot of offensive guys getting opportunities to be head coaches just because they've had like a good system in place or they're under a good system.
Right.
But you're not really necessarily always seeing the defensive guys get their opportunity. And it was a lot of notable people that was interviewing for that job, and they just went, oh yeah, this guy, he makes Aaron Rodgers look good. Hey, we can just throw him into this job and maybe he'll be ready. And that wasn't the case.
Right. No, and so I do agree with that. Again, I feel like he should have. I mean, if he didn't say this publicly, then I don't think anyone would have. Well, obviously he wouldn't have been in the public light because nobody was talking about Sean Payton nor the Broncos up until he made those comments. But it was one of those. He saw what he was dealing with. And he probably was just fed up. Honestly, he probably just had a bad morning, and everything just came spilling out at the press conference, and so now he's walking it back a little bit. And me personally, there's nothing to walk back. I mean, people get called out every day. You get called out now. These are public figures. Now, the shot at the Jets, I think that's part because Nathaniel Hackett is there. It don't have nothing really to do with them being on hard. I guess part of it is them being on hard, but the fact that Nathaniel Hackett is in New York with the Jets. Sean Payton is pretty much feeling like, they're gonna have to deal with what the Broncos dealt with last year
Well, I mean, they're both in the AFC. They face each other week
5.
Oh, it's
week 5. It's week 5.
Yeah, so they face each other week 5. It'll be put up or shut up time. Sean Payton, I mean, and the expectations don't change for him either.
Right.
I still have lofty expectations for the Broncos. They have a lot of talent on their roster, and now they have a Hall of Fame coach that is going to come in and coach them.
Is he a Hall of Fame coach? Didn't he go to the Hall of Fame as a coach?
I think that, yeah. I mean, he's got a winning record. Very impressive what he was able to do with the New Orleans.
And it was, and I think moments matter. And I think he got hired at the perfect time, right after Katrina. So I mean, I can see that. I was just wondering.
So I was thinking about this, right?
Oh boy.
No. And it's a conversation, right? So we give Mike. I've given Mike McCarthy a really difficult time, right? You know what I mean? And then you got Sean Payton that, we consider him in the top tier of coaches. If you looked at their resumes, they're pretty similar, right? So then it starts to get into the argument of, if you consider Sean Payton a Hall of Famer, do you consider Mike McCarthy a Hall of Famer? It also gets into the argument that it is the second go-round, right? So Mike McCarthy is on his second home. He was successful with Green Bay. Right. Sean Payton, successful with the Saints. Now we get to see what he does with the Broncos, because one thing, and I don't want to take anything away from both guys, but it's a lot easier to coach when you have an Aaron Rodgers, and it's a lot easier to coach when you have a Drew Brees. Dak Prescott, I like him. I hope to God if he has a good season, it's got to be this year because I do want to figure out how to win this MBK.
Wait, hold on, tell me. If he has a good, you're saying it like he's never had a good. We're not gonna do this Dak stuff right now. You're saying, but you are saying it like he's never had a good season before.
No, he's had a good season. I just need him to maybe have a Patrick Mahomes season because I think I'm going to keep.
What is a Patrick Mahomes season?
Just ball out. Give me a whole bunch of points because I think I got my MBK success. But I've digressed. But it was no shot at Dak. I would be one of the biggest Dak Prescott fan cheerleaders this season if I decide to keep him. But anyway, the Broncos and where I was going with this is their expectations do not change. They've actually risen a little bit because Sean Payton is there. And I fully expect them to, at bare minimum, be a playoff team and be competitive to the Chiefs. The Jets, if they get Dalvin Cook, I have similar expectations for the Jets.
I'm interested to see Hard Knocks.
Okay.
Just get that. I think it's going to be interesting. So let me go back to the comparison of Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton. I feel like with Sean Payton, I don't want to say he's overrated.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to say he's overrated, but he got the one championship. When did they win that championship?
And that was 2009, maybe going into 2010. So 2010.
So he won it the year before Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, and so Mike McCarthy gets a bad rap right now because he's with the Cowboys, right? It is what it is. The Cowboys bias is a real thing, and if people don't think it's a real thing, then they clearly are blind. I mean, so you get held to a different standard when you are affiliated with the Dallas Cowboys. That's fair? Okay. So I've never seen a head coach get ridiculed as much as Mike McCarthy after going 12-5 2 consecutive seasons, right? That's not easy to do, right? It's not easy to do. Now, I'll give Sean Payton some props because when he did lose Drew Brees, I want to say it was the year I think that was the year it wasn't the year the Bucs won the Super Bowl, but it was probably the year before that.
When they had Teddy Bridgewater.
They had Bridgewater,
okay.
and I want to say they didn't have him for like either 3 or 5 games or something like that, and they stayed above float. So it's just crazy to me, right? So not Mike McCarthy, but Sean Payton. He's laid eggs. I mean, whether it was bad calls or just bad luck, right? They were in the divisional round against the Minnesota Vikings, and that's when Stephon Diggs had the miracle, and he catches that. Minnesota goes on, and New Orleans had a damn good team that year. Minnesota goes and loses to Philly. I want to say it's the following year they play the Rams, and some may say it was pass interference. I think it was pass interference, but they end up losing to the Rams in overtime. And the Rams, that was an NFC Championship. So the Rams go on, and the Rams ended up losing in the championship. So those are back-to-back years, and then you have things like things like that happen, and now it's but Sean Payton's this great offensive mind, and he's this that. You never hear he couldn't finish the deal. You never hear he made these bad cuts, which he did. He there was some bad calls or whatever, and you have a situation where the Cowboys, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, Dak balled against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but who really has had success against the San Francisco defense last year? Patrick Mahomes, right? And yeah, y'all lost to the Eagles, but you lost the damn quarterback you lost 2 quarterbacks that game. You know, so I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like I feel that Sean Payton is, and I may get some slack for this, I think he's slightly overrated.
So no, so I wouldn't say that you deserve slack. I think it's a fair question. So I think it does go back to the Cowboys are critiqued heavier than most teams, and it has to do with the fan base. I think either you hate the Cowboys or you love the Cowboys. So you're going to have the fans that love them, that's going to critique it because they get tired of the rest of America that hates the Cowboys always critiquing their team or ridiculing them for not being a Super Bowl team. So it's a love-hate relationship with the Cowboys. So I think if you wear that star, it just comes with different responsibility. And I think Jerry Jones is probably critiqued as an owner more than everybody. I think, Stephen Jones is one of the heavy criticized GMs. I think that Mike McCarthy now, he's critiqued as a coach. You look at Dak Prescott, he's critiqued as a quarterback. I think everybody in that organization is going to be critiqued, and you got to have tough skin to play there.
Got to have tough skin to be a fan.
Yeah.
So why you say that, right? Because it leads to my next thing. Justin Herbert is the richest man in football right now.
Yep.
Right? If Justin Herbert was on the Cowboys, people would be calling him a choke artist. You want to know why? Sure, I'll tell you why. One, he made the playoffs one time in his first 3 years. Just saying Dak made it twice in his first 3 years. But whatever. That's besides the point. He was up 27-0 in the first half of was that a wild card game? Of the wild card game, while the guy he was going against threw 4 interceptions in the first half. 4. So, yes, he don't play defense. He doesn't play defense. I get that. And I am not a Justin Herbert hater. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. But you're telling me you can't find a way to put more points on the board? Yes, he doesn't play defense. Again, I understand that. But he should have found a way to keep the team on the field. They had a ton of 3-and-outs in the second half. And had that been another quarterback that plays in the state of Texas, it would have been, oh, he can't get it done. He's a choke artist, yada, yada, yada. We've heard all of it from Tony Romo to Dak Prescott to whoever. And it's like, wait a minute. And he didn't do anything. He hasn't won a playoff game. He hasn't won a division. I don't even know. He may have beat Patrick Mahomes once, maybe. So with that being said, it's like you look at it and it's like, wait a minute. What has he really done to earn the money? He has some gaudy stats, but aside from that, he doesn't have a division championship. He doesn't have a playoff win. Because all these things people bring up. He doesn't have a division championship. He doesn't have a playoff win. He has a losing record head-to-head versus Patrick Mahomes. What has he done to be the highest paid quarterback in the league?
Potential. And I'm serious, right? So and
he has all the pieces. He has Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He has Austin Eckler, and amongst other people.
So I wouldn't disagree with that, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, We'll see it with Joe Burrow when it's his opportunity. They're in a unique situation where they've shown enough, and what teams are betting on is, are these guys going to be able to sustain their production and improve upon it? So with Justin Herbert, you're looking at somebody that each year he's improved. Now, he hasn't gotten it done in the big moments.
Improved where? How? Because their records ain't they've been about the same every year.
He became a little bit more proficient. He had.
All right. I mean, I take your word for it.
I think it just boils down to this, right? And we have to agree here is the Cowboys are held to a different expectation. That's fair, right? We'll say that.
Of course.
So there are a lot of little other quarterbacks that are not held accountable to the standard of the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. And we can agree there.
You know what his record is?
Who, Justin Herbert?
Yes. As a starting quarterback.
It's probably 50%.
Just above. 25 and 24.
Okay.
That
was a good guess.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So I just I get it, man. I get it. He got a whole lot of numbers. He got a strong arm. He can make all the throws. But what is that getting him? Well, I mean, and I forget his rookie year, because his rookie year is his rookie year. But you got 2021, you got 2022. And I just feel like something's got to give. Like, so what happens this year? Because they went what? They went 10-7 last year. So now he got that new money. You still got those weapons. Your O-line is good. Austin Eckler may not be happy, but I mean, such is life. What is a successful season for Justin Herbert?
I think he's got to go deep into the playoffs. I think he's shown
this year.
Yeah, I think he's shown that he can put up the numbers, and I think it's got to be true team success. The issue is, and it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, is we know the Chiefs are going to be there. The Chiefs are going to figure out what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You got Denver in that division that, I've already said the expectations are high for them. You got the Chargers that the expectations are going to be high for them because everybody's hoping that they take the next step.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Jets. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other teams that I have not covered. You got the expectations of the Ravens because Lamar has got his money.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals are going to be right there. People are expecting Cleveland for Deshaun Watson to bounce back and for him to be successful. So I guess the point I'm making is, and Buffalo, we got to throw Buffalo in there. People are expecting them to be successful. Everybody's not going to be successful.
Right.
And somebody at some point is going to be held accountable to that. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about the preview show, and I don't want to get too deep into it. But, yeah, Justin Herbert, he is going to have to start making his team better because Trevor Lawrence isn't going anywhere either.
That is true. So, yeah, next week is the preview show, y'all. Next Sunday, August 6th. That's the 6th, right?
Yep.
You sure it's the 6th? I'm sure it's the 6th. Yeah, August something. August 6th. Yeah, I know I was right. Yeah, August 6th. We're going to have our friends, so off the record and friends. And I am very interested to see who guys choose as their division winners, their playoff teams, their Super Bowl champion. Also, we're going MVP, Rookie of the Year, offense and defense, Player of the Year. We're gonna have some fun. And we want everybody that's around to join in. We'll make it somewhat interactive. So the guys will be here. It'll be here, our friends. And we'll probably welcome some special guests just because people not always gonna agree, and it should be fun. We'll have some fun. There's gonna be some surprises. I'm almost certain. I think last year, I think I did pick Minnesota to win the division. I got a different. I can tell you now, it's not gonna be Minnesota. I got picking to win that division. So nonetheless, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Something we needed to talk about with Kent.
So we got the injuries. We didn't talk about Ramsey.
I mean, he'll be all right. Well, people have surgery every day, B. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. I mean, NFC, real quick. And I know Jamal said I picked the Bears to make the playoffs.
You did.
I did not. I said no.
Thought.
First of all, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago, and I said, hold on, and I said if Justin Herbert, I'm not Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, and the coach. I forgot what the exact thing I said, but I did not pick the Bears to make the playoffs last year. 2 years ago, I picked Justin Herbert to win Rookie of the Year and their coach to get Coach of the Year. That's what I picked. Yeah, I did not pick the Bears to make the playoffs.
I'm trying to think who was coaching, but he was on the hot seat.
It was Matt Nagy. Yeah, but there were conditions in place in regards to that. But that was 2 years. That was not last year. I definitely did not pick the Bears to make the damn playoffs last year. They were terrible. I did pick the Vikings to win that division when you and Jamal picked the Packers. Me and Phil picked the Vikings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, y'all not going to sit here and say, I never picked. Man, hell nah. But I can tell you this year, it's going to be interesting. And
I do recall picking the 49ers, and everybody laughed me.
Was that last year?
That was last year.
Nah.
I think everybody went the Rams. I think I was the only person that went.
No, I know I picked the 49ers.
The Seahawks are the team that scared me the most.
This year?
In our division.
Yeah. First of all, your division is terrible. Okay? Yes, the Seahawks can be the ones to scare you the most. But if y'all don't go at least 5-1 in that division, that division. Here's the thing. I'm one of the guys that are saying Seahawks have to show me again, right?
Okay.
I think I feel like they kind of were flukish last year, right? And it was a couple teams. So I feel like
Geno Smith. I don't know what it is about Geno Smith. Hence, if you want to trade him, because you have two quarterbacks.
Hey, yo, stay off my roster, man. Let me. Damn, we can talk. We can talk business. We'll talk off camera. Oh, if you want Geno, make a deal. Send an offer over. But whatever. So go ahead, Geno.
Nah, but I think he takes another step
forward.
Yep.
Whew. Okay. All right. There's gonna be some surprises this year. And like I said last time we recorded, I do think that the NFC East has four of the best defenses in the league. Not even in the conference. I think in the league, I think all four of those defenses. You could call it bias, you could call it, but I don't be surprised if the Cowboys have the best defense in the league this year. And I ain't gonna give y'all too much more of what I got to say about the Dallas Cowboys, but oh man. So this is Jamal. He's tuned in. He feels like he didn't get any respect as a fantasy in our league. And listen, that's one. I'll go down and say that's one of the most competitive leagues that I've ever been in. It might be the most competitive league on the East Coast, man. You know,
it is a competitive league. I guess in that league, if you win, you just got to accept the hate.
I mean, I feel it was the same way for me too. I don't know why he's acting like a big baby right now. You know, so
some haters in that league.
Yeah, absolutely,
I'm the president. I know I'm a hater.
You know, and I congrats. I mean, he did a good job. He did a good job. You know, winning that league. I mean, some may say he bought himself a championship. I'm just saying, it is what it is.
Some of his tactics, I will try to use that next year in other leagues.
I
digress. But
yeah. So Kurt, make sure you tuned in next Sunday, man, because I think you're gonna enjoy the show. We're gonna preview. I don't think Washington's going 13-4, but I do think that
they're going to take a step forward.
People are sleeping on the Commanders. I personally feel like the energy is shifting in the building there. The biggest issue was Snyder.
Yep.
And he's gone. So I mean that makes a difference, man. You got a healthy work environment. It's kind of easier to do your job. But I'll say this:
and the fans getting behind the team. Because the fans
they're still not going to show up to the game.
I think Dan Snyder selling the team has ignited this fan base, and I think the team is going to rally behind that. Now, if that looks like 8-8 or 9-8, you know that I think 13-4 is pretty lofty.
Yeah.
But
so I'll say this. The NFC East will be the best division in the NFC. I'm not going to say in football because I think that the AFC North may possibly be the best division in football. I think all four of those teams are tough. And I think if Deshaun Watson, I always mess up names. If he plays like the last time we saw him in Houston, don't be surprised if Cleveland wins that division. I mean, they are loaded too. I mean, look, there's a lot of good teams, and I really can't wait for next week to see what you guys pick. And your commentary. So we'll see. But I'll say this. You heard it here first. Before we even get to next week, Washington will not be in fourth place in that division. Will they make the playoffs? You got to tune in next week.
All right.
So hold on. I'm gonna put this on the screen because I want everybody to get a good laugh. Hi, Charles. Shout out to Charles.
But I really liked what they were doing toward the end of the season.
Most of them guys not even there anymore.
Yeah, I regret that they didn't give the guy. I can't think of
the running back.
No, the running back. I got money with him,
but Steve Wilkes, they didn't give him the job.
But I thought he did a tremendous job steering that team. Despite
but he's in San Francisco now, and he's a defensive guy. So it's gonna be. Listen, if you're a defensive coach, it's gonna be hard to get a job, man. It's crazy. I've been coaching defense damn near my entire coaching career. I go to offense. I win championship, win coach of the year. Win all these accolades. The first year I go to offense. Hey, I don't know. It's a little weird, but so Jamal says he thinks Carolina is better than Washington.
Let's wait till next
week.
Let's
wait till next week. All right, man. So we're gonna get up out of here. Yo. Yo, we out, yo. This off the.
Gotta get us canceled.
This is off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
I see he didn't change it that
I
time.
didn't change it.
Anthony Adebayo.
with you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.